We're joined by Christopher Bell now. How are you doing? How's Media Day so far?
So far, so good, Jeff. I can't complain.
This is our first. We've never had a station before. So
I guess I could have told you that. Yeah.
we don't really know what we're doing. Is there anything we should be avoiding asking? Like,
You should avoid what would it mean to win the championship.
Oh, okay.
Everybody
Avoid
says that
question.
same thing. Like, that's the question that everybody's just like, I'm so tired of that.
Yes, that is the question that 90% of the people ask.
oh, that sounds rough. Honestly, like when I let's say I'm at a family gathering and I have like two different relatives ask me the same question. Even on the second one, I'm starting to get irritated a little bit in the back because I'm like, I just said that. So I can't imagine you guys having to go through however many stations you go through and get even 10, the questions 10 times or that's, how do you do it?
Well, that's what makes good journalists is that you have unique questions, right, Jeff?
Let's see if
We've
we
got a
have
whole
someone.
list of them. This is not a unique question. How's your crew chief doing? How's Adam Stevens?
He is doing well, and I'll be honest, you guys are the first one to ask for that today.
Hey.
So he's doing really good, and the whole time he's been far and above what I expected him to be doing. And each week he gets more and more mobile. He still has the peg leg walk where he's heel striking, but he gets around pretty good.
So he's walking at least. He can't bend his knees.
He can't
still.
bend his knees, but he was walking since day one whenever I saw him.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I expected him to be, heck, I didn't know if he was going to be in a wheelchair or what. But, yeah, he can't bend his knees. So it is a little funny to watch him walk, but he can get around good.
When you heard the injury, did you grimace? Did you start laughing? How did you handle that? Because I've heard the story.
I was shocked. I was like, wait, are you screwing with us or is this for real? And it was coming. We just got 2 weeks off. It was after Indy. And I think it was like the Sunday before. So I'm like, wait a minute. Are you serious? You're not just screwing with us? And but he honestly, his mobility has been way better ever since the injury than I thought it would be.
And your cars have still been fast, so that has to be a relief because I'm sure anytime,
I haven't been able to tell a difference from him being there or not. So our team's been really good.
Yeah.
You come into this playoffs in a much different spot than you have in previous years. You've got a lot more playoff points in the bank. Does that give you more confidence of getting to Phoenix and racing for the championship again?
Well, in one way, it does feel a little bit safer. But the schedule, man, is just, it's hair-raising. We go to, in the past, the round of 16, you would start off at Darlington, which is a real racetrack, and the best guys are going to score the points at Darlington. This time we start off at Atlanta. Well, we all know how Atlanta can be. We can get some people in there that you just never know who's going to score points at Atlanta. And then we go to Watkins Glen, which should be a normal road course, but yet we have a tire that is supposed to produce a lot of tire deg. And we don't. That could be a Bristol race from the spring. We don't know. So, and then we go to Bristol, which from the tire test, I think everyone's expecting it to be a duplicate of the spring race. So we got 3 races that are all going to be not traditional races.
I mean, it's almost like if you can avoid these first 2 rounds of landmines, then
That's a good way to put it.
You're really in good shape. Because all year, I mean, from the moment you won Phoenix, you came from 20th on that last restart. You drove up, you won by 5 seconds. You could have won Gateway if not for the engine thing. You won New Hampshire. It just stacks up so well. But like you said, these first 2 rounds are just they seem terrifying.
They are completely terrifying. And then once you get to the round of 8, that's racing. You go to, Vegas, Homestead, Martinsville.
Yeah.
Vegas, Homestead, Martinsville. And those are 3 real racetracks where the best teams are going to score the points. And, so surviving these first 2 rounds are going to be critical.
What's that balance between entertainment and adding like an Atlanta or having a Talladega in the race versus, having, like you said, a kind of a quote-unquote pure racetrack? What's that, in deciding the championship?
I don't know. I mean, it just it feels like we are in a little bit of a identity crisis, and someone else in our industry used that term, and I loved it. And I'm like, that is so true. Are we a racing league, and do we want to promote the best sport, the best teams, the best drivers, or do we want to be in the entertainment industry and have, the most entertaining races?
It's hard to have it both ways. I mean,
it is. And if you ask different people on what a good race is, you're going to get different answers. And you have true motorsports people that understand what a good race is and how, the best win race or whatever, how a race should be. And then you ask, other fans who aren't as educated in the sport, and their view of it is going to be much different. So, we're in a weird spot right now. It's just going to get weirder next year with Talladega in the round of 8.
Yeah, they make you cringe.
It does. It does.
Would you be in favor of, there's all these, enhancements that have come along. The option tire seems like, something that would help racing, but is more of a racers type thing because it has strategy. Do you want to see that in future playoff years? It doesn't sound like it's going to happen this year, but like, would you be okay with that if it was at Phoenix to have 2 different tire compounds, stuff like that?
No.
Okay.
No, because all you're doing, and I understand that other people or other series do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
F1 has it, IndyCar has it. Our sport's a little bit different because we have the timed yellows, and everybody knows when the yellow flags are going to come. At least those first 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, the option tire, does it produce comers and goers? It does, but it also, if you're not good, then you're just gonna do the opposite, right? So what do we want the champion to be? Do we want the champion to be the best car, or do we want the champion to be the guy that sucked all race and saved a set of red tires that got the lucky yellow?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good point.
I'm very torn on it, and we're getting further and further away from traditional racing.
Does it frustrate you?
It does. It does.
Speaking of things that aren't frustrating, I have a little list here. If you could rank the following in terms of how satisfying these would be, from most satisfying to least. Oklahoma beats Oklahoma State, getting home from a race before midnight, or having a perfect lawn.
Oh man. Getting home from a race before midnight is number 1. They're all high on the list, but getting home before midnight, OU game, perfect lawn. And
Okay.
that was a pretty easy ranking, but all 3 of them matter to me. So
Okay.
Are you going to miss Bedlam because OU and Oklahoma State aren't going to play anymore?
I am, but
They're not?
OU Texas.
No.
OU Texas.
With
is the big
OU
one.
going to the SEC,
They didn't find a way to make that
OSU
still
did
happen?
not want it.
It is surprising, but
Oh.
OU Texas, that's our big one. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
very good.